Okay, now that we know a little bit about the types of processing that are on this input processing table, there's the input processing, which begins when they're in update mode on a record and press escape, escape. This table begins to run and goes down, and we know there's the trigger processing, which for instance would be like at when leaving field 19. Okay, because you know there are these two different types, it's going to make it a little easier for me to show you some of the FilePro functions now. Let me show you a little bit more about at when entering fields and at when leaving fields. Notice that I'm pushing down these the elements with F3 because you notice I have my at when leaving field 20 that below at when leaving field 19. I keep them in order. I group all my processing in a certain way, and this is very important. At the very top of the table. At the very top of the table is the input processing. Below the input processing, I put the subroutines that input processing uses. Because you remember they have to be below the end statement there, pretty much, for them to work properly. They don't want anything to fall through into them. But in any case, after the subroutines, I put when leaving field stuff, or I put at keys, doesn't matter, one or the other. I put trigger processing. And you see here that we have at when leaving field 19, and then I actually go in order, numerical order. If I try and do the at when leaving fields in their numerical order. And the at keys, sometimes I try and put them in alphabetical order, not always, but I put all the at keys together on a table. They come in all in order. And the type of processing I do is called top down. In other words, I am constantly going line by line by line, and occasionally I will go do a go subroutine like this. I'll go out to a subroutine, but then as soon as it comes back returns from the subroutine, it's right here, and it does the next thing down, which is this. So it's still top down. You get a very good sense that everything goes down, 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 and it hits the subroutine, returns back up to right where it came from, and keeps going down. This is a very important style of programming because you don't want to be sending people all around the block again with something like go to. You don't want to say go to a label at line 1000, then go to label at 400, then go to label at 1200, and then go to label at 398. You're moving them all around the screen. Everything gets lost and jumbled, and it becomes a sort of a spaghetti code. If someone looking at your code knows that it's been done in top-down fashion, they know that to look for if it says go sub to some routine, like go sub hard copy, it pretty much is going to be right near there. Just follow down a little bit. There's going to be the hard copy subroutine somewhere below it. And then if there's another go sub right after the go sub hard copy, then that go subroutine would be a little bit right below the hard copy subroutine. Perhaps you would put it here, and so forth. Top-down programming, it's a style. It's something I do all the time. I urge you to try and do that sort of thing. Here, what I want to do is show you a few commands, though. Now that you know what trigger processing is, let me show you entering field. At when entering field, and let's pick a field to go into. How about email? Email is field 11. So we'll say at when entering field 11, and I'm going to put my little extra label there. I'll say at when entering field 11, let's show something. How about, and I'm not going to put the at sign here. I'm just going to say, how about showing, don't forget the at sign in every email address. Not much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a semicolon and I'm going to end. That's enough code. It's never going to fall through to this code because there's no if statement, so it's going to do this line, this then line, then it's going to hit this semicolon, and it's going to do the next thing on line, which is end. So this is just one single simple line of code. Let's go see how this works. Remember, I did not put the at sign in the show because I don't want to stop the user and make them press enter. I just want when their cursor goes into the email field, I want that sign to pop up at the bottom. So I read tab, tab, tab. I'm in the email field and it's popped up at the bottom. Don't forget the at sign in anything. So now if I hit enter to get out of this field and go to the next field, oh, see the problem? It stayed there. Now, of course, I go back up into that field. It's there. If I go into the facts field, it's not clearing it. This message is only for this field. It should be cleared. So let's go deal with this. I'll go to the at when entering field routine, which is right here. And I think you can imagine or intuit what we're going to do. We're going to say, when you leave field 19, at when leaving field, 11, excuse me, at when leaving field 11, let's show, how about nothing? In other words, and then we'll end. We'll show nothing, which is show everything between these quotes, which is what? Nothing. This is the null string. It means show blank there, show nothing. Not even a blank, just show it, so it's going to clear that line basically, because that's how show functions. Let's go make sure it does it. Update on tab. Now I'm in the email field, and I'm going to press enter to get out of it. Cleared the line. Beautiful. Now if I go back in that field with the up arrow, there it is again. If I press the up arrow to leave the field, same thing, clears it. So just what we want. We're able to put a little message up and down using at when entering field trigger and an at when leaving field trigger.